The House with a Clock in Its Walls. To be honest, it took me a while to actually get that name right. So this movie is directed by Eli Roth, and when I found out that this film was directed by Eli Roth, I was shocked because Eli Roth is a guy mostly who directs like horror films that has lots of gore in it, like the Hostel films, the Green Inferno, and it consists lots of gory elements into those films. And having him direct this film, I'm like, okay, what am I really going to get myself into? So this film follows a kid named Lewis. He's an orphan and he goes to live with his uncle, Jonathan, who's being played by Jack Black. Later on, Lewis discovers that his uncle Jonathan is actually a warlock, and also he discovers that the house that they're living in is an old magical house with a dark secret. Now, watching this film, I didn't really care for this film. I yawned a lot, and it was pretty much meh. But for this film doesn't focus on me because I'm an adult. This film is primarily for children. So if you have kids, the kids will like this film. I saw this film at a pre-screening, and there were a lot of kids at the pre-screening, and the kids actually enjoyed themselves. Eli Roth did a really good job of putting some good horror elements into the film. He did a really good job of putting a right amount of scares to give the children goosebumps, but not the type of scares where actually terrify kids and make them have nightmares in their sleep. But there are some times where he was on the cusp of making it terrifying, because there was some haunting imagery that was in this film that could trigger some parents and make cover the kids' eyes. And there's like this one character where she was pretty much shaking like she was possessed by something, like but other than that, the horror elements was tamed. Also, the production, the layout, the setting, the props, the designs, all that's inside this film was pretty good. There are some CGI characters, but they used practical effects, and it wasn't like overbearing CGI. It was noticeable, but it wasn't an eyesore. So to my eyes, the CGI was passable. Jack Black, who plays Uncle Jonathan, he gave out a good performance. He was charming. He had good charisma with his role, and there were some flaws with his character that we, the audience, learn about. He also had good banter with Kate Blanchett's character, and Kate Blanchett plays a witch named Mrs. Zimmerman. They both had good banter going back and forth. You can really tell they've been best friends because they're pretty much name calling each other going back and forth. The boy who plays Lewis, I don't think his name is Owen Varanko. If I got his name wrong, sorry, I just don't have time to look at IMDb. And the main character, who's being played by Owen Varanko, who plays a kid named Lewis, he gave out a decent performance. There is this hilarious thing that he does a couple times in this film. You yell at him, he just starts to cry, and it's kind of cringy way he does it. It's just like it's like unexpected, kind of abrupt. Other than that, the flaws with this film, I would say the film is not really funny towards me, but that's pretty much a nitpick. There's plenty of jokes in this film that will actually make the kids laugh. There are a few toilet jokes and a few butt fart jokes in this film, so it can definitely make the kids laugh. My main issue with this is it does seem like it could be taking place within the Harry Potter universe. There are a few elements where they kind of take some of the designs or some of the aesthetics of the film, and they kind of got it from the Harry Potter films. There's lots of scenes where the film believes that the audience can't comprehend its own story, and the film does that heavily in this film, where characters explain a character's backstory to another character. But there's an interesting character arc with Kate Blanchett's character, and I actually gravitated towards her character. There's something that happened to her. I do not want to go into full details. And once the film reveals her character arc, and me personally, I got with the character a little bit more. For me personally, this film is just meh, yawn. But for kids, I think kids will find some enjoyment to it. So I gotta give The House with a Clock on Its Wall a Michael Keaton Batman. This is enjoyable and it's efficient. I think kids will definitely will enjoy this film. So definitely take your kids out to see this film. Other than that, if you're an adult and have no children, this is what are we talking about again? Have you seen the movie? Give me your thoughts, comment below. Let's go in depth and let's talk about it. And if you like everything you see and you agree, click right here. Join me in the Batman family. I have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. Do you have the time? Till then, ciao.